Start streaming. Come here, Pedro. You want a treat? Oh, get ready. You ready? You got it. Here we go. Relax. Hey everybody, it's Hutch and my trusty friend Pedro. We have an update on Pedro's condition. He had a pretty serious injury this weekend, but he's on the mend. I'll give you an update. Hey, we're going to talk about weather, specifically Thanksgiving and snow. You're hearing reports all over the interwebs and elsewhere that things could change. Well, they are, and we'll go over exactly how. Drop a comment. We're going to talk about some surprise celebration going on here. 75,000 of you follow me on Facebook, and on YouTube, we're approaching 10,000. I've got some special things I want to talk about with regards to that. Let's chat weather right now. You're joining Hutch and Pedro with a look at your weather.
Now, a Hutch's weather update with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson, brought to you by Robert Gibb and Sons.
All right, thanks so very much for joining me. First of all, a little update on Pedro, who is right here, but he got a little bit of a treat, and he's got a sore foot. You can see here behind my little banner, I'll have to pull that down here. Pedro was out running around this weekend. It's football Sunday, and I got to tell you what, he had himself a little bit of an injury out there. So he really ripped off that, what do you call that, dew claw thing, and didn't even see it happen. Just a lot of blood and a lot of painful puppiness. And we took him in and got him all taken care of today. He's still limping. He's in quite a bit of pain, but you know what? He's soaking up all the attention too. So we'll keep you in the game there. That's your update on the Pedro injury report. We're hoping he can be back today. Thank you, Clarine. I really appreciate the congratulations. Drop me a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. What platform are you watching on? And you know what? Let's do this too. Why don't you drop a comment and let me know what you would like to see Hutch's Weather do next? Because working on the next phase of Hutch's Weather, but it all starts right here with the broadcasts that we do socially. Thank you for the good thoughts, Clarine, for Pedro as well. So drop a comment. Let me know where you're watching, what you'd like to see us do next. We're going to talk meat too. Not something we do every day here on Hutch's Weather, but we got some fun topics to go through there. We're going to get right to it here, and let's talk a little bit about that meat business. All right, if anybody out there is a meat person, I got a big old slab of brisket right here. I've never smoked brisket before, but I'm fixing to learn how. I watched YouTube video after YouTube video of people with a lot of smoke in the air, and they're smoking their meat right here. I've got a big old slab of brisket. Looks good. I think I know what I'm doing. I've smoked a lot of stuff before, but I've never done a brisket. So if you have any pointers on that, drop me a comment and let me know how you like to celebrate that and how you like to cook that brisket. How long does it take? I'm seeing all kinds of different ideas there as well. We're also going to talk a little bit about this celebration and 75,000, what it means, but let's go right to my top monitor here and see if I can point out a couple of things to you. Number one, when you're scrolling on Facebook, let's start with Facebook, and you're scrolling along and you run across Hutch's Weather, one of my videos. If you see the blue follow button, would you do me a favor and click it? If you click that follow button, that number that's growing towards 75,000 will grow, and that truly helps Hutch. And it should help you with receiving more notifications about when Hutch is going live, and that is on the Facebook platform. Now let's go to YouTube. If you go to Hutch's YouTube page here, you're going to see the little subscribe button down here. And when you go to this subscribe button, if you click on it, there's a little dingle bell next to it. I'd love to have you click the dingle bell there. So you're basically subscribed on my YouTube channel, and you're getting notifications by hitting the dingle bell. This channel growing fast as well, and I sure appreciate all of you for your help. Now, something else that you can do to stay in touch with Hutch, because I want to stay in touch with you, particularly as weather's changing. Right now, South Dakota's getting damp. We have a few showers around Lake Sakakawea as well. Now, just a little bit down on the page right here, if you scroll down, you're going to see this email list. Well, I've got an email list that allows me to send notifications out to you. So be on that list, because you're going to get some early notifications about things Hutch has going on, like Pedro treats right now getting delivered to my friend Pedro. And Also, I'm not going to spam you with anything at all. This is all weather all the time right here. You drop your email in, and between you and I, we're going to stay in touch regarding what's going on. HutchesWeather.com allows you to watch these live videos when they're happening. And on the interactive radar that you see right up here, there's some interesting stuff too. Number one, we see rain setting up here. This is in South Dakota. You're looking at Pierre right here, and it sneaks all the way out towards Brookings and Watertown. Now, this is the heavy band of precip that is pushing north, but notice how it's staying put. This is the sign I've been waiting for all day, to see where this band of heavy precipitation sets up, because it looks like a chance of some snow in these areas as we go through the overnight hours. Now, what does snow mean? Snow means you need to get your road condition report in the morning. If you're doing any traveling at all, it's a good idea to do that. My friends at OK Tire sponsor the road conditions report. You're going to see information there for any of our regional states and provinces up in Canada about those road conditions. You can not only get the road condition reports, which roads are worse, which ones are better, where are things real icy and dicey. You can turn on the DOT cameras from these areas and check that out as well. And not only that, you've got your snow forecast map that we put on there for you to animate the forecast snow, watch when it hits and where it hits, and get estimates about what the current forecast model thinking is about that snowfall that you're going to be driving across and through. So that's just a couple of ways we can stay in touch as we do Hutch's Weather right here together. Now, let's take a look at our forecast. A couple of things that we're talking about as we go into the forecast is you're starting to see some big time change as we go out in the distance. So let's get to what's going on now. Then we'll talk about the change. And we're going to start with that nowcast with a look at our regional radar. So now we're looking a little bit closer, and we're starting to see a little bit of change over near Brookings. See that little pale color there? It's almost peachy. Well, we get into temperatures in the upper levels of the atmosphere. I had a great question earlier on one of my posts that said, how can you be forecasting snow with temperatures above freezing? Well, we're above freezing in Fargo. I don't think Fargo is going to see snow, but I did put a snowflake on my 7-day forecast for those traveling around the region, either south of Fargo or to the south and east of Fargo. There's going to be a chance at seeing some snow mixing in. So now when we plot our temperatures on here and take a look at what's going on near the Brookings area and up near Watertown where the rain is fairly heavy, we can take a look now at 36 degrees. Now, keep in mind, up at cloud level where the precipitation is happening, it's even colder oftentimes than it is on the ground. Not all the time. Kim, thank you for watching. Thanks for your well wishes for Pedro. He appreciates it. I appreciate it. Now, snowflakes start up in the sky where the temperature can be colder than the ground, and often is. So oftentimes we have snowflakes up at cloud level, and as they fall down, sometimes they have time to melt if it's 36 on the ground, and sometimes they do not. It depends on how thick that warm air layer is. So yes, we can absolutely have snow starting to take place at some of these locations at any given time once we get down below about 38 degrees. So we're going to keep that in mind. Once it starts to snow, it doesn't accumulate this time of year right away because the ground is warm and typically above freezing, which should minimize some of the snowfall. But once it starts changing over to mostly snow, then it starts getting slushy. That cools that surface off pretty quickly. And if car tires are compressing that on the roads, then things get a little sloppy fairly quickly. We got 37 in Sioux Falls, 39 out towards Worthington, and on or up towards the Marshall, Minnesota area. Here in the valley, look at the cold air in the Boston area. Bemidji 27, 25 in Baudette, 32 for you folks in Warroad, right off the lake there. 62 says Kevin in Arizona. Thank you for your Arizona report. I sure appreciate that. Drop a comment if you're watching on my YouTube channel as well. And I know that there's a lot of folks out there watching Monday Night Football. I got to say, Pedro is on the pup list tonight, the physically unable to perform list. My pup is on the pup list. Right, Pedro? That's right. He knows it too. He's been feeling a little bit down and out. So we got temperatures that are here, thanks to clear skies, really falling rapidly across northern parts of Minnesota. Now, we were talking about the radar and that band of heavier precipitation right now, and we're going to look at some Thanksgiving snow chances here in just a minute, so stick with me. But check this out. We're seeing this heavy band set up between Pierre, Watertown, and then down into Iowa. This will lift north a little bit, but this band is likely going to stay put right here because we have low pressure moving out of Columbus and Omaha that'll be sneaking up this way, and as it does so, it's going to leave this trailing precipitation right here where it's at. I don't think this is going to move up into Fargo. We could get a little bit of precipitation up here along the border, but we're starting to see where this heavier band is setting up. And if this changes to snow, being it's fairly heavy, we could see some accumulations there that are pretty, well, let's just say lofty. We also have a fair amount of rain falling right now in and around the Sioux Falls, South Dakota area. That will likely move north of town, but again, not too far, because things are going to stay in the southern third or southern fourth of the state of Minnesota. Now let's go to your hour-by-hour forecast, and let me show you what I mean about the importance of matching what's going on with the radar now and really kind of drawing our line on where we think this heavier band of precipitation, be it rain or snow, is going to set up. Let's go to it. Here is a look at this high-resolution forecast model. This is an American model, okay, if you're counting there. Now, let's take a look at where this has the rain moving through. As you can see right now, it is pushing it through and north of Sioux Falls in towards Brookings to Watertown. So it's right on the money with where the rain is now as we head into the overnight hours. When does it change to snow and where? Boom, right over the Minnesota-South Dakota border as we cross into 07Z. You subtract 6 hours from that, that's after midnight. We're going to get a little bit of mixed precipitation. That's what's happening right here. Okay, so that's going to start as we go through the midnight hour, and it expands across the region. Now, as the low pressure system moves north and east, the heavier amounts of precip will begin to take over in southern parts of Minnesota. Still rain there because we have warm air coming in on that flow. But as we head into the morning hours, we're looking at 6, 7 a.m. here. This turns to moderate snow in places just south of the Twin Cities, moving off into parts of central and western Minnesota. As we go into the morning hours, it pretty much vacates the region pretty quickly. How much snow is this forecast model thinking? Let me show you the latest on that right here. Two things to keep in mind when we're talking about snowfall forecasts. We showed you where the heavier band of precipitation is. It's just in the Watertown area and points south. That is where the best chance is going to be. So I think I would take this model's forecast right here, move it south about 30 miles south of Watertown, north of Huron, and that's where that heavier band of precipitation is setting up. Good evening, Northern Grace. It's good to see you on board here tonight. So that's what we're watching for. This is by Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. How much snow will be on the ground? 1 to 3 looks like a likelihood in this area along this most likely track that'll be along this area and point south. Isolated places, well, many places will see a ½ inch to 1 inch, and a few places will see 2 to maybe 3 inches of sloppy, wet snow. Notice it moves toward the Minneapolis area, but I think this whole thing is going to be south by just about 30 to 40 miles because that's where the radar is setting up right now. So that's a look at the area there. Now let's look at this extended forecast because here's some things you need to know. Nathan, good to have you on board. Kevin, I don't know what part of Arizona you're from, but 62 sounds fun. Drop me a note. Let me know where you're watching from. Northern Grace, how about you as well? 25 to 30 degrees for morning temperatures in Fargo, right near Watertown where things are happening. 32 to 35 degrees and a heavy wet snow above freezing, I might add. This goes all the way in towards areas along toward Minneapolis and points south. So the I-90 corridor and north toward the cities, in between I-94 and I-90 is where things are going to get rocking as we go through the overnight hours. Where we stay quiet and clear, temperatures are dipsy diving towards 12 degrees for places like Ely and Rainy Lake. Well, when you're at 14, that rain won't be too rainy, will it? Then as we take a look at what's going on for afternoon temperatures, low to mid 40s for most of the area, a little bit of 30s up in northern Minnesota out there. Exiting showers working their way out of Minnesota, but temperatures still rebounding to that 38 to 42 range in those vicinities. Now, as we take a look at the 7-day planner, this doesn't get us toward Thanksgiving, but we got some big things here. Hutch's bottom line, steady Eddie temperatures as we go through the work week. Look at this, above average, I might add. 37, the average high in Fargo as we go into our Tuesday. So it's going to stay near 37 for that. And now look at this. We're going to be in the 40s to near 50. How about 51 burger on Sunday as we're flipping burgers there? Oh my goodness. I got to tell you what, though, after that, we do get a chance of some unsettled weather here and there, but most of us stay fairly dry. Rita, good to have you on board. Shauna, thank you for the note. Let's see. Good night. Don't want to get in jammies to be surprised by news to buying my decorate the balcony. Oh yeah, that sounds fun. That's a perfect idea. And it's good at decorating weather now, right? The ground isn't freezing. We can still put out our snow people and all the fun things that we like to put in our yard to decorate things up. Hutch even threw some lights on the old tree. The FM area, Northern Grace, good to have you on board. Rita, thanks for joining as well. Look at the bottom line, though. There's some important information here. Isolated precipitation events, very isolated, very light, non-eventful through the week and into the weekend. We warm up and we could have a little bit of a spit or whatnot as we cool off a bit for Monday. But there is a potential for a winter event taking place on Thanksgiving Day to Black Friday. Thank you, Kim, for sharing. Stars with Hutch, helping Hutch grow. Now that we've got some viewers showing up on this, I want to ask you, what do you think would make Hutch's weather better? What would get you the information you need faster? Do you want to see anything different at all? I love constructive criticism. Try not to punch me too low. That's okay. I've trained for things like this, doing weather for 30 years. You know what? You get used to having good constructive criticism, and I take it to heart. What's this potential winter event? Let's take a look. We're going to look at the big picture because it's one of the biggest travel times of the year. It's important to you. So let's take a quick peek at this now on the national scale. And we're going to start with Hutch's favorite model, and that's the European model. Now, when we take a look at this national scale, you're going to see some unsettled weather developing and moving out of the Rocky Mountains. Now, here is where we are right now. Here's our weather wiggle bringing snow into parts of Wisconsin by the time we get to midday on Tuesday. For us, we're quiet here in the valley, and it does look pretty nice. A little spit in the forecast with a weather wiggle wobbling through on Wednesday. Weather wiggle Wednesday, everybody's favorite. Then as we get through that wiggle, it moves out of here. Temperatures will do a little bit of a setback with the blue lines moving in. Then after that, Stacy says we can live with this forecast this time of the year. I agree. The longer we can get through this without big deep time travel trouble, then we're in good shape. Or shovel trouble, nobody wants that. We don't want to get started too early with that nonsense. Now, check this out. Big time storm system rolling out of the Rockies and into the Central Plains stays south, but a wet one as we go into the upcoming weekend. After that, we're heading into the week of Thanksgiving. So let's get to it. What goes on? High pressure, very quiet in the Sunday timeframe that we showed you. Then we got a California system, let's call that Canada system, developing out here not far from Hudson Bay and rolling through. Look what's making landfall in the Pacific Northwest. This big time dip in the jet stream is going to work its way inland. And as it does so, around the 25th, we'll start seeing unsettled weather. These lows may not be in these positions. Right now, this model says there's a storm in Canada and a storm in the southern U.S. Will that happen? It could. It's one scenario. But I'll show you another model that doesn't necessarily agree with this. As we go into the 26th and 27th, this one lifts northward, and that one pretty much impacts most of Canada as it goes through. Now we're on Thanksgiving Day. High pressure over the nation's midsection and quiet with the developing Colorado low here for Black Friday that develops a little bit. And then here comes another wave of wintry weather as we head into the weekend after Thanksgiving. So unsettled on the European model, to say the least, with more wintry conditions and a big burst of cold air working its way into the nation as well as we close out the month. I don't want to go out any farther than that. Now we're going to take a look at this model. This is the American model. So as we take a look at the American model here, you're going to see some similarities as we get a little bit closer to the week of Thanksgiving. So here's the upcoming weekend. We're quiet here. And then boom, the week of Thanksgiving. After the weekend ends, quiet weather, low pressure, Pacific Northwest swings out. One low sets up here. Ooh, this is different than we were looking at. So this model says we could have a low pressure system here as opposed to Texas. Ooh, oh no, we're talking the 25th, rain, snow, Montana, Wyoming, Colorado. This system could really impact with areas of locally heavy snow. Will this happen? I can't say it's going to happen exactly like this, and in fact, it probably will not. But both models showing unsettled development after a low exits from the Pacific Northwest and enters into, one says Canada to the northern plains, and another model says way down south. Look what this one does now. This one weakens, but another low takes over precedence and makes its way up into the northern plains. And look at this nonsense. This is on Black Friday, but actually it's on the evening of Thanksgiving. What do you think about all this? That's travel trouble for all of us. Rita, thank you. Stacy, we can live with that forecast. Deborah, thanks so much. Hey, did you get in on the discussion about the big meat here? Hutch has got this meat. I got to smoke this brisket, and I'm going to do it here late tonight and into tomorrow. Drop me any comments or advice you have for smoking a brisket. What is your recipe? What do you like to do? Just anything simple. How long do you usually leave that brisket there on the smoker? That's what I want to know. What does Hutch believe here? Here's what I do know. Number one, as we cool off this time of year, when we get a cold air intrusion into the lower 48 states from Canada, it can shift the track of storms across the nation. So as this cool air starts settling southward, I'm backing up here and going into the weekend. You see the warm air here? We're riding right on the boundary between the red lines and the blue lines. And along that boundary is oftentimes where we can see some of the most significant weather. So as we cool off, we're in this transition zone between the warm and the cold. And yes, I do think it's believable to see stormy weather in our area with the cold air and the warm air kind of clashing in this zone. Because what that means is here where we have the biggest temperature change is where that jet stream sets up shop. It's what drives the jet stream over the lower 48. So this is a believable model, but we did just look at that European model. What was the big difference? Well, it has that cold air diving just a little farther south. So as we take one more look at this after our explanation of why they're so different, take a look at this as we head into the 25th. Here's cold air a little farther south. Here it comes. Look how far south this cold air is diving. And now all of a sudden the blue lines, the cold air is down here in Colorado in the deep south, which some years we end up with our neighbors in Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, seeing heavy snow before we get it in North Dakota and Minnesota, right? So this can happen. That's the big difference between these two models is how far south that cold air works its way in. If we get a deep dive of that south and southerly air, then the storm track will be a little bit farther south with that potent or heavy shower and thunderstorm activity. Look at this. That's called a nor'easter. That could be taking place as we go into the 1st of December, but that's again a little bit far out. So that's a look way ahead. It's not my forecast. Simon, good evening. Are you watching from Duluth? Good to have you on board. Nathan, good to have you on board as well. Deb, thanks for joining. It's a pleasure to have all of you folks watching Hutch's Weather tonight. Any questions at all, you drop them right here. I'm going to leave this, but I do want to tell you a little bit about what we started with, and that's this celebration of 75,000 on Facebook and 10,000 on YouTube. Hutch has what I'll call gift packages for those. As soon as Hutch hits 75,000, and we're very close, we are at latest count about 74,700. Okay. So hit the follow button as I was showing you. And as that goes through, if you're not following it, how do you follow? You can go to my page and click on the follow button. Or if you're looking at your feed on your Facebook feed and you're scrolling through and you see a Hutch's Weather video that you stop on and click watch, that's great. I appreciate that. But sometimes up at the top, if you're not following Hutch, it'll tell you that. Let me show you an example of that right here. So as we take you up to this monitor on the top, I'm just scrolling through. Missed the first model. Was it the Europe? I showed both, Simon. Yeah. Do the weather intros in jammies? I would love to. I like comfortable clothes. As I'm scrolling through my feed, you might see somebody's news station. You might see Hutch's Weather. And if you see the blue follow button, I want you to click on that. That's how you follow me. If you do not see a follow button, it means you're probably already following Hutch, and that's a thumbs up. So as we get into 75,000 on Facebook, I have a prize bundle for somebody at 75,000. And on the Facebook page, that's Facebook. Now we go over to YouTube. We're pushing 10,000 there. When we hit 10,000, that 10,000th follower will get a notification from me for a prize packet from Hutch in appreciation for the amazing growth I've had in just the 2 years of being online and talking to you about the weather. So thanks so very much for supporting my fine sponsors, for supporting me, for your ideas, giving me ideas about how we can make the weather more interesting, like doing it in jammies, talking more about recipes for smoking brisket. All right, I got my brisket here. I'm getting ready to smoke it tonight, and I need your advice on it. No, I'm not going to do it in a half hour. It's going to be a slow smoke deal, but I want to know your recipe. Rita, thank you very much. Thank you so much. And for those of you who have asked, I did mention that Pedro is on the physically unable to perform list, or the PUP list right now. So this is Pedro. We are at the vet today because he had a Sunday injury on game day. And he basically could not participate or DNP did not participate in forecasting activities today. He's on the mend. He's right here. Would you like to say hi to our friends, Pedro? Let's lift you up carefully. He's got a sore paw. And here's Pedro. And there is his fancy sore leg. He busted a dew claw almost clean off and was bleeding everywhere and yelping. There's never a more helpless feeling than that, right? So Pedro is on the mend. He's got a treat right now, and we're going to keep him well fed and well loved as he heals from the injury. We'll keep you up to date with that as well. Let's go back to the radar and we'll talk a little bit about this. Simon, you didn't miss too much, but we were looking at this snow setting up right now and the rain. We got thunder and lightning approaching Omaha from southeast parts of Nebraska and some thunder in central Iowa as well. Right now, all of this is rain, but surface temperatures that we were talking about just near Brookings and Watertown are around 35 to 36 degrees. Is it snowing there? It can snow even with temperatures like that. So on Hutch's Weather, I'm all set up and you're set up too on hutchesweather.com. Let's go together to the road report page because this is where you can make decisions as we come into the holiday travel season, thanks to my friends at OK Tire. And by the way, if you have tires needing replacement or other work needing done on your vehicle, they can get you taken care of at any location that they have here across our region. Now, once we click on the road report, you can get from any of these states or provinces a look at the road conditions right now. We're going to head to South Dakota and we're going to take a bird's eye view, because this is a pro tip. You click on South Dakota, it takes you to the DOT page there. Now, what I like to do is go to the little layers button. It's behind my head. So I'm going to go right over here. You see the little pancakes right here? That little layers button right there is what we click on. And when we click on that layer, we can turn on the cameras. Do you see that? So we scroll down here, look for cameras, and we turn those puppies on. Nope, they're on already. Okay. So these little blue icons are cameras. We're going to go down to the eastern part of the state here. We're looking for evidence of snow on the road. Nope, but we do see temperatures are down to 33 degrees right here as we cross in to Clear Lake and point south. Look at this. We got precipitous precipitation, long streaks across the camera lens, probably raindrops. We're seeing rain right now, but it's 33 degrees in this area. And as we take a look at the pictures, we can see that that is some wet conditions right now. At 33 degrees, it will not take long for this area of moderate to heavy rain to become areas of pretty thick snow. It'll be of that heavy, wet variety that probably will not stick to area roads too quickly. But keep that in mind now as you're working your way into the region. South on 29, we're going to have a chance for some snow showers as we go through the overnight. And yes, it could accumulate. As we get outside of here, let's go up towards Watertown and see what's going on there. It's definitely raining and quite heavy in Watertown right now. The temperature there at last check was 36 degrees. So keep that in mind as well as we take a look at that. So that's what's going on there. And I do appreciate all of you checking out hutchesweather.com as your source for weather information. Now, one of the other fun things on the website that I want to make sure that you're aware of is that if you head over to the main page here and you click on this, you're going to have that ability to check out the advisories. We do have a winter weather advisory tonight across parts of southern Minnesota, as we've been talking about. So not far from Huron and Watertown, these areas are expected to pick up a trace to up to 3 inches of slushy snow. That does go all the way out towards central Wisconsin out there as well. As we zoom in, you can see some communities on the map here impacted. Wisconsin Rapids, Stevens Point, Tomah and Eau Claire, as well as Lakeville, Faribault, as well as Hutchinson. No relation, by the way. You folks in New Ulm also are involved in this little area of winter weather advisory business out here. Northfield, Cannon Falls, Hector, Sleepy Eye, all the way out to Marshall and Brookings, South Dakota. So, but on the page for the travelers, on the road conditions report, I had to come back this way and show you. If you scroll down to the bottom, this is the snow forecast map. This is really handy. You got to press the play button here, and it will show you over the next 24 hours where the snow track is going to be most likely. And sometimes more importantly, what the potential can be, not what it will be. So we're reporting cold rain, says Simon. And thank you, Rita. Pedro is kind of a cutie down here. So this particular forecast model is showing that we do have the potential for some dark blues. And if we use the little legend down here, we can see that dark blues is about 3 inches, and it changes to purple when we get upwards of 7 inches of snow. Good thing we don't see purple. That's what I got to say. But isolated places, as Hutch was saying, picking up upwards of 1 to 3 inches of snow. So that is a look at your forecast. Thank you so very, very much for hitting the follow button on my Facebook page or on your feed. If you see the blue button that says follow, please click it. You can also click the subscribe button there on my YouTube videos that are going on right now. And if you go to hutchesweather.com, you can actually head to that page and watch the video. So if we go here, oh, did you see the hot air balloons in Moorhead this weekend? And you click up at the top and you click up here where it says Hutch is live right now. That's where it's going to take you to the live stream that's going on right now. So if we go ahead and take a look at that, boom, we go to the latest video and it's going to come on up here. And once my sponsor's little clip here is done playing over at Luther Family. Ooh, look at that T-Rex. Oh, he's getting run down by a raptor. Speaking of which, even the T-Rex fears the raptor. Head out to Luther Family Ford if you have some shopping that you want to do. Hey, here I am. You can subscribe by clicking on any of my videos where it says subscribe here. Look at this neat effect. Woo, woo, wee. We've got an infinite loop going on. There's Hutch, Hutch, Hutch. Say hi to Hutch. Wave to Hutch. Nope, you too. Now you wave. Now you wave. Thank you. Now you wave. Way back here. Yay, thank you, Hutch. How about you waving? Okay, this is kind of fun, isn't it? So you can click on the subscribe button right here, and that will take you to the subscription page on Hutch's YouTube channel. You are all the very best. I think I'm having too much fun. Look at that. Isn't science cool? Weather's even cooler. Bernadine, thank you for laughing. Rex Forest Wanderer's laughing too. Don't run me over. Oh no. Ah! Here we go. All right, we're having fun on Hutch's Weather. Crock pot recipes with potatoes, says Shauna, for Hutch's big slab of brisket. I'm not talking about a small slab of brisket. I'm talking about a big slab of brisket that's going on the smoker. So we're talking early tonight. Yeah, I'm a little goofy, but I'm really excited that old Pedro is doing pretty good. I want you all to have a very good night. Know that Hutch's Weather is here for you anytime, any day. Hutchesweather.com. I want your ideas right here. Throw your ideas down on what Hutch can do next to better serve you, the weather information you count on. Rex, thank you. Missed you over there in North Dakota. Hope all is the best. Best wishes for healing Pedro. And Rex Forest Wanderers, where are you watching from? I would love to know. Thanks for watching. Check back regularly. Have an awesome possum night. And I'll keep you apprised of when Pedro is off the pup list and back in action on Hutch's Weather.
This has been a Hutch's Weather Update with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching Hutch's Weather anywhere.